Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with the Carnivore Lifestyle. And for me, being almost 70, it's kind of fun. I never thought I'd get a second chance at feeling as good as I feel outside of the compression T12 thing. But yeah, I wouldn't trade the way that being a carnivore makes me feel. Oh, it just feels so right every day, making the right choices. When it comes to, I do OMAD, so I eat between 2 and 3 in the afternoon. And it's not that I'm hungry or hangry or, just clock watching. It just comes around in the afternoon that it's time to reload. That's what I do. I have my meal. And we eat pretty much the same things around here every day. So that makes it easier. And for some that might mean boring, but for me it means predictable. I know how the foods react in my tummy, how it all digests, and I feel great. Do you have your cuppa, by the way? Your little cuppa? It's so funny how much bigger this looks like online. So as you can see, it's my first cup. So I'm still having my black coffee in the morning. And then later on, recently I've only been having 1 cup of coffee, and I just kind of spread it out from like 9 or 10 in the morning to like noon. So it's kind of cool. And in that, yes, I do put fats and my keto. I have been sweetener free. I was having xylitol and erythritol in my cups of coffee. I wasn't craving sugar. It's just the way that I drank my coffee. It just felt the way that I liked it. And then all of a sudden, one day, I didn't taper down. I cold turkeyed it. And I wasn't planning on it. It wasn't like written on the calendar, today's the day you're giving it up. I just kind of did. And I knew that there'd be some getting used to. I knew that there'd be some sentimental longing for that sweetened cup of coffee. But I just went on. I know what I did do was I substituted having fats in my coffee back into like the bulletproof arena. And I said, well, that'll do. It felt good to give up the sweeteners, though, because I found that I was kind of attached to them in my coffee. I wasn't craving them in like, a dessert sort of thing or anything else. I always drink my coffee hot year round. I've never been an iced coffee person. When I'm a tea person, I'm doing it not begrudgingly, but I know that it's like not anything that I'm attracted to, right? So, yeah, I had quite the mighty collection of tea bags, but tea just doesn't do it for me. So I like my nice, strong, organic coffee from Whole Foods. And that's how we do it. So how are you guys doing with this? Let me see. As I look at my calendar, it says May 11th. I can't believe that. And so yesterday was Mother's Day. And it's interesting watching how they tried to make this into a great big holiday. One of my favorites, not that I'm bitter, cynical, and jaded or anything like that, was looking at an ad for, oh my God, I think it begins with a P, the jewelry. And I'm sitting there thinking, we aren't even allowed out of our houses at this point unless it's, medical, CVS, or groceries. And we have to wear a mask now, per the governor, as soon as we leave the house. And I'm kind of laughing, thinking that, like, yeah, that's what every woman wants, is another charm onto her bracelet. So, and the gloves cover it too. And so you have to see a little bit of humor in this. And, there's no Mother's Day out at restaurants here in Massachusetts. So the whole thing goes on, and it gets kind of humorous in its ludicrousness, I guess, which works along fine with me being pretty much unable to walk. So my MRI is scheduled for tomorrow, the 19th. No, it's scheduled for the 19th, so a week away, and we'll see how that goes. It's a day at a time, and I've had the x-rays, and I guess it's just a long journey of doing what mainstream medical wants us to do. So I did see my across the street neighbor doing nails yesterday. She has kind of an at-home business, and I saw some of the familiar big ass cars there. She tends to have a pretty elite clientele, and so she was being naughty because nail salons aren't open yet. But I understand the frustration for sure. So that's how we're rolling here. We're just doing our carnivore. We're showing up. I'm going to have a bath in a few minutes. The excitement of it all. And carry on with my activities of daily living. And, my mental health thing is to kind of get one trip out. I think I might have Greg do the trip to the butchery today, only because I just can't stand. I can't stand. And if so, it's not a fun thing. But anyway, I dream one day of not being in pain. And I don't know, I just keep having like little shots of watching King of Queens, because they could zero in on like something on the bureau. And I look at my Gerolsteiner water and my ibuprofen and Tylenol. It's 2 feet away from my bed. And it's like, oh, those 2 feet, or walking to the bathroom. It's like, oh my God, that 10 feet that I have to traverse to get to the toilet. It's not for anybody that I would ever wish this to happen. I'm just hoping that day by day it isn't a 10 on the pain-o-meter, But carnivore is important. I do feel it's healing. Today, as I record this, it's a Sunday, so it's Big Green Egg. I've made my pot roast for the week, so we'll have that. And then I'm getting the ribeyes today, and the pork chops will be smoked gently on the egg and then finished off in the air fryer. We had those for the first time in the air fryer, and they came out moist and tender with the smoky. Yeah, it worked. It was a je ne sais pas. I loved it. So how are you all handling this? For us on this date, let me see, it ends up pretty much a full 2 months plus that we've been on the lockdown, but we're not going to call it a lockdown. It's that, stay-at-home order. Schools are closed throughout the rest of the school year. No businesses are open, as I said, until the 18th, which is a whole week away. We'll see what happens. The rental season is pretty much decimated for Cape Cod because nobody can rent anything because we're not quite sure what's going to happen. And so there's so much humbling and sadness that goes on with this. I wish it was going to be different for a lot of people. Who knows what will happen when we do open up in phases and stuff like that. But I'm still glad for my OMAD. I'm so glad for my OMAD, because I know with my addiction to sugar and carbs or sweet and carbs, that I'm like one bite away. I am one bite away from the disasters that could happen. And a 1 bite is too much and 1,000 is never enough. I know that with my addiction. I had binges, but not in the sense of qualifying as a binge eater. I was pretty much the classic overeater, too much of too much. I never quite had the full button. When I ate, it never said, full, you done, girly. Yeah, go brush and floss and tell the rest of your body that you're done. Didn't happen like that. I just ate too much of too much. And I guess I like to end each day with something sweet. Usually it was frozen, and it had frozen things on top of it. That was my just the end of the day thing. It finally registered in my brain that I was done. To tell you the truth, I don't know how I gave up that. I know that when I switched from, it was pretty much Weight Watchers at that point, I was having the frozen novelties that they offered, 3, 4, 5 points, I think they were. And so that was my final, like, sweet at the end. Oh, no, it wasn't. Excuse me. Then I went to low carb, high fat, and fat bombs became the dessert sweet of choice. I made them at home. It wasn't like the recipes that you see. It was Fage full fat yogurt, cashew butter. It was bulletproof chocolate, which was made with stevia. Very, very good. They only ship in the winter because of the melting factor. And I was allowing myself, this is my addict, I was allowing myself to have those fat bombs 3 times a week. Seems reasonable, right? If you're a moderator. Huh. I'm not a moderator. I'm an abstainer. But I fooled myself into thinking I was a moderator. So then after having my version of the fat bombs 3 times a week, my moderator mind started saying, well, why don't you have one every day? Because you're a moderator. It's not like you're addicted to this stuff. Oh my God. It's like, it's not the angel and the devil on my shoulders. It's the pretend moderator and I know I'm an abstainer, right? And so it convinced me that I could have one every day, and it wouldn't be like it was an addictive habit that had to be fed every day. Have any of you ever done that to yourselves where it's like you fool yourself? It's like, no, I'm not really that way. I don't have to have these at all. Oh yeah. So I don't know how I got to the place of not having them, but I must have. And so at that place, it was low carb, high fat. I wasn't having grains of any kind. I was still having almond flour pizzas, but I wasn't having any other sort of grain or grain wannabe. I'm a grain wannabe. And so those went away, and I started leaning more heavy on meat. I was still keto I guess I was probably under 40. And then I hit the keto under 20. And then I was watching all the carnivore people. They're all out there. Mike and Jim, Beating Obesity, Carnomad, Sean Baker. I was watching quite a few of them. Even Maria Emmerich I was watching. And so they were all doing carnivore, and it was the same way for me with the keto under 20. I was watching people that weren't where I wasn't. I wasn't where they are. And it must have been a way for me to convince myself that I was ready for the next level. And so little by slowly, I, ended up being the carnivore. And I am a carnivore that still enjoys eggs. I still enjoy cheese. I still enjoy butter, and I still enjoy some fat in my coffee, like butter, like ghee, sometimes coconut oil, the K2, K-I-T-U, non-dairy creamer. I still enjoy those. I don't think that life is for still denying all of the things that give me pleasure. And, if you told me that I would have ended up just having some ghee in my coffee and that would have been my simple pleasure that I've retained, well, that's it with the keto. And so, dry lips. And so I continue to do those. And I haven't not. I haven't not. I stopped weighing in February. I was doing a slow gain from the switching to carnivore. It's a shoulder shrug. I watched Kelly Hogan and Amber O'Hearn talk about, protein versus fat. Amber's put on a hunk of weight, hasn't taken it off. Kelly put on a hunk of weight when she began. Now she's managed to shed it, and many years ago. So it is what it is. I wouldn't trade how being a carnivore makes me feel to lose the 5 or 6 pounds that I've put on. It just would never be worth it for me. So that's what I do. I trudge along the happy road of destiny with how carnivore makes me feel. I know it's helping me heal. I know with this compressed T12, I always think of Tom Brady, TB12, that it is what it is. And I figure that the good meat that I eat and the other good animal products that I have contribute to it. And so I'm not going to be changing anything anytime soon. I hope you're doing well. I hope your state is being kind to you and either opening up slowly or giving the big promise of it. A day at a time. We're doing this. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Sarah. Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto. I'm so glad you're here. This is the community I depend on. Thanks for watching. I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye for now.